Rushed, but when you have 2-day prep, it's all screwed up. So, but at least we accommodated you the best we could, and we still got a lot of work to do because we got in so late. So, go ahead, fire away.
Is this practice that's so important for a game like this after a game the night before make this tougher?
Yeah, it makes it tougher. You know, I mean, I think usually the day after you travel, you get home at 2 in the morning, you don't have. So we went a little later. That's what screwed it up for you guys, and had to have some film things in that. But it was good. It was great. So no excuses. It was perfect.
Psychologically, like that, obviously that's a lot of mental and physical strain on a team. How did they respond today, and how do you kind of keep that laser focus?
Yeah, I thought they were great today, to be honest with you. But you know, I thought we practiced really well a couple days before that game. You know, and I don't know what it was. I think we took them a little bit for granted. I think that's the reality of things. And as Bill Raftery said to me, this will help you in the long run. It sure didn't help me in the short run, but maybe it will help me in the long run. And I say that because we looked at some things today. We just took a very few things because we had to move on. But we looked at some things we thought we did wrong, and I think we can correct them.
How would you describe your years in this rivalry?
Oh, it's a love affair. Yeah, it's like Young and the Restless. It's, you know, my years, I may say, I think I played them 55, 60 times, and, you know, sometimes it's been a rivalry, and sometimes it hasn't. Sometimes on my part, sometimes on their part. You know, it's you got two teams ranked in the top 7. I might be the best it's been in a lot of years. So rivalries are always rivalries, but rivalries when both teams are good are more important rivalries and bigger rivalries. So it's not always been that way. It is that way this year, and that's great.
Now, psychologically, emotionally, what can we compare this game to? A late tournament run, dare say a Final Four run? I mean, what can you compare it to?
No. It's January yet. There's so much. When you look at the schedule, guys, and I've looked at it a lot of times trying to figure out who's got an advantage, who's got a disadvantage. I know we play, I think of the last 10 teams, 8 of them are still kind of in the hunt for things. I know that 4 of them were in the top 10 in the Ken Palm. So we know we got a lot of work left, but I think more than a couple teams do. I think we've got one of the tougher schedules, but I'm not sure how it goes. But no, win or lose this game, there's a lot of basketball left. So I'm not putting anything on this game in that respect, other than the fact that it's a rivalry that gets somebody one step closer to the ultimate goals.
I was wondering, Jeremy and Cadeau, is that matchup how appealing? How interesting is that based on the way that those two play?
Yeah, you know, I mean, when you got 2 point guards that are smaller point guards and kind of run their team, I think it'll be an interesting matchup, you know. And but you know, Jeremy's playing some of his best basketball, and Cadeau must be playing pretty well too. So that'll be a good matchup. I mean, they're probably the most talented team that we'll face this year as far as 7-8 deep. And we played some talented teams. That's a compliment to them. But you know, it's not going to come down to one guy or one-on-one or anything like that. It's going to be a collection of probably 10 players on both teams that have to play, because you never know about fouls, you never know about what happens, and then we'll see what happens.
Their size is different than maybe anything you face in terms of just variety, skill, height, all sorts of different pieces. You faced a couple of these guys on different teams before. I mean, what
not a collection of them.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. I think it's the best talented team we faced, you know, and they're well coached, they're talented, and they got a little bit of everything. They got the size inside, they got a good point guard, they got some guys that can make shots, they got depth. Why the hell are we having this press conference? You're trying to ruin my day or what? But they do have a very, very good team. That's why they're 20-1 or whatever they are. You know, there's a reason they are, and deservingly so.
You faced them. There have been years where both teams were really good. Like right before the pandemic, there were a couple of years where there was a year where they were a bad matchup for you, and you lost twice. The next year, you won 3 in a row. It was sort of vice versa. Are you curious what the matchup looks like, and do you not know for sure until you see it?
Yeah, I don't think you know for sure. You know, it's easy to say. You know, we can put a guy out there with longer arms. You know, what does that really do? you just never know how things will be. You never know whether we'll be too excited, less excited, whether they'll be the same way, whether the crowd plays. There's a lot of things that play into this, but I just know that I know how good I think they are, and I think they've proven that. You know, that 3-game stretch out in Vegas, they annihilated every team. And, you know, they've gone through some stretches. They haven't played as good, so have we. But should be a hell of a game.
From the standpoint of the sport, two different program approaches. You've got guys that you brought through the program, and they've got guys they brought into the program. How does that shape that?
A lot of ways to skin a cat. Everybody's got their own way of doing it. And, everybody should do what they're comfortable with doing. I've so given up on what college basketball is like after last week's latest. I just gonna worry about my 15 guys, and everybody again does it a different way. And if you have success, it was the right way, and if you fail, it was the wrong way. I mean, that's the way you guys would write it. That's the way fans would take it. But I have to be comfortable in my own skin, and I'm very comfortable in the way we do it. And we'll see what it does for us.
You said many years ago, you can respect your rival. You're not supposed to like your rival. You still believe that, don't you?
Yeah, you guys are awesome too, because every year you want me to tell you how much I hate them. So I will say it again. I hate them. Of course I hate them. They hate us. You know, you got friends down there. What do you think I'm getting Valentine's Day cards or birthday cards? I mean, it's the way it is, guys. It's no different in any way in America. The key word is respect, and I do respect them a lot. So that's all that matters. When I die, I don't care if anybody likes me or not. I care if they respect me. So that's the way I look at the rivalry, you know? I had my time when I hated them and didn't respect them, and it cost me. So I got smarter at younger days, and now if the day comes when you like your rival, it's time to get out. That's for anybody in any sport. But if the day comes when you don't respect your rival, shame on you. And I do have great respect for them and what they've accomplished and what they're doing. And but I like my team too.
Tom, if I could shift for a second, and before I ask this, if you're going to put me out of practice, let me get my coat first because it's cold outside. Yesterday, MSSAA announced that Michigan now has high school NIL effective immediately. There's 46 states now. Just want to get your take on that.
I don't like any of that. You know, I've told you why. I think we're damaging kids. I'll stick with that. So does that mean kids can go wherever they want now? Are there restrictions? Do you have to live in a certain community, or are we just going to play chess and move people around? You know, I don't know. Michigan High School Athletic Association wouldn't allow people, and I love some of those guys, but I got questions on whether I respect what they do too. They wouldn't let kids go more than so many miles away, so we're losing kids to all the prep schools, and now we're going to let them do whatever they want. It's an amazing world we live in, but I don't care. I don't care what they do. I don't have a son that's playing, and who knows? I might not be alive when my grandson or daughter plays, so they can do what they want to do. I'm done trying to solve those problems. I don't agree with it, though. I don't agree with it. I told you why I don't agree with it, and we go from there.
What's going to be important for your bigs against their bigs? What are some things that you really look
Stay out of foul trouble. That'll be one thing important. Realize you got to get the ball inside, outside a little bit more. You know, they have some shot blocking. They rebound the ball pretty well. We rebound the ball very well. That'll be a battle in itself, you know. But they can go a couple different ways, you know. They can go with a jumbo lineup, you know, and with the XL playing the 3, and then go with him at the 4, and now it's more of an athletic lineup. So they can go a lot of different ways. I think one of the key guys, everybody talks about all these other guys, is Johnson. I mean, I love Johnson when he was at Illinois. I think he's a rebounder. I think he makes his free throws. He's probably the most efficient player, maybe in the whole Big Ten, if you really look at it. He plays defense. He seems to rebound the ball pretty well, makes his free throws, shoots a high percentage, doesn't force things. You know, we talk about a lot of different guys. He might be as big a key as anybody.
Seems like in the last 3 or 4 weeks, watch Jeremy Sears almost go from a boy to a man. You feel that way?
Yeah, it does. You know, and it's what's supposed to happen. You know, for most kids, the superstars can be one and done or two and done. That's great. But the kids, they got to develop, and remember, he went through the injury. You get better every year, and then you have one of those breakout times that a lot of the great players I've had did. And there was all the way back to Morris and Mateen and those guys to, you know, more recently. So he's getting better every day, you know. And I'll just leave it at that. I don't need anybody acting like he's Magic Johnson, Mateen Cleaves yet. But he is definitely. Yesterday was a telltale. Yesterday, his biggest growth nobody knew about. He was struggling early. He wasn't playing real well. Was in foul trouble, and he was an unbelievable leader in huddles. Didn't sulk, and that was a key. We brought it up at halftime. Sure enough, it turned the second half into he did what he was supposed to do. So, a lot of appreciation for his growth and what he's doing, and it's been fun to watch him grow.
Was it good to have a little crisis?
Players proud of the way they can play teams that went in there 6'9", 6'9", 7'3". How important is that going to be on that?
Yeah, you know, I mean, size, physicality is physicality, but you can be physical and a guy 5 inches bigger than you. I'm not sure it always matters, you know. So that'll be interesting. I think until you get out there, until you see people, you know, everybody talks about somebody's size, and then you're sitting on the sidelines, you look out there, you say, damn, guy's bigger than I thought he was, you know. So, you know, I mean, we're going to have to be physical, but hey, you don't think Johnson, you don't think Izzo plays physical. They got some guys that play physical too.
And you guys have seen Cadeau last year, you've seen Mirage last year, Mara, McKenny, you probably know them from high school. Does that help going into a game of this with these stakes? When you haven't played them yet, but you at least have some personnel familiarity?
Yeah, I mean, I know them and that, but they've changed too, a lot of them. And we've got a lot of film on a lot of them now. I mean, when you're this late in the season, you got 20, 21 films on them. Some guys you got from last year. I don't think it's any big advantage right now. Early in the year, it would have been a big advantage. I think now it's not a big advantage.
You're eager to see how your team's going to respond to something like this. This week's ratcheted up a little bit. Haven't had one of those in a couple
Well,
weeks.
you know, I mean, it's not like we've been ducking people. I mean, we played some pretty good people too. And, you know, that stint we had early, we going down to Nebraska, what we went through there, you know, I think my team's going to react fine. Whether that's good enough or not, only time will tell. But that's a good basketball team we're playing, a very good basketball team. And I know this, we can't play poorly and win. We can't play average and win. We're going to have to be on top of our game to win a game like this.
Here's the dumb question of the day.
Yeah, there's a lot.
How do you sleep the night before this game?
Oh, man, I mean, do you remember back in high school when you played your rival or when you were going to the prom for the first time, you know, you finally had a date. You probably didn't have one, but most people did. You know, those things are exciting in your life. There's memory-making moments, as I say all the time, and sometimes those memory-making moments are hours when you talk to guys. That's why all the alums at both schools. I mean, that's why Duke and Carolina. That's why, you know, all the different rivalries, Indiana and Purdue. You know, does it really matter at the end? Sometimes they all become friends. I'm friends with a lot of guys at Michigan. But the rivalry is something that's exciting. It's something you think about. That is a memory maker. A memory maker means that one way or another, it's going to be a memory that you're going to take with you. And so, you don't sleep good. Why would you sleep good? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Tom, you're our resident Hall of Famer. Talking about your favorite sport now. Any
Football?
comment on, yes, sir. Any comment on Bill Belichick not getting the first ballot in Hall of Fame?
Yeah, you know, I was disappointed as a coach. I mean, I don't know all the particulars to everything. Different personality, you know, but I met him once with Nick Saban when he came here. but I admired what he accomplished. I admired it, the way he did it. I admired that for whatever reason he's not, but what I really admired today when I saw some of the players and coaches send tweets and texts out, and they showed him on ESPN, and Dion had a great, a lot of guys had great ones, you know, and I think that's what it is, you know. That means the players that played for him that didn't like him, or the media that didn't like him, because that's what happens in these jobs. But there was great respect, and it showed today. So disappointed, but I don't know all the particulars either. What I saw, what I think he accomplished compared to some people, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame way bigger than I deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And that's not humility. That's fact. Add up the numbers. It's factual. You can win that many world championships in football. You know, it's incredible.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.